Astrology friends and family from around the world. This is Lada from Astrolada.com, and these are your July 2022 video horoscopes. To watch the extended version, where I also talk about world events and all the rest of the 12 signs are together in one video, check out my main channel, Ladaduncheva. Or to watch the short version, you can watch it at my channel, new channel, Astrolada, where there is one video for each of the 12 signs, which is 7-8 minutes long. And by the way, before we start, I want to tell you that this is the last time this year that I'm offering my courses, astrology courses made by me at a promotional price of 25%. So grab the deal if you're interested in learn astrology with me. Now let's begin. Now we continue to Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, July 2022. This month will be one of the months that shakes you up a bit towards the end of the month in particular. The first 3 weeks are quite nice and peaceful. Overall, of course, there can be always exceptions depending on the personal horoscope. But the first month, the first 3 weeks, first there is great focus on your 5th house. Venus will be till the 19th in your 5th house of having fun, enjoyment. Venus loves being there. It's a very romantic house as well, so it's a great time if you want to have some romantic, even travel. Venus rules your 9th house of foreign travels. You can even have romantic experiences connected to foreign people, or go somewhere, travel with your partner till then. Or just renew, kind of have pleasant experiences. Or even if you're single, you can meet someone. Or the 5th house is your children. Your children can behave better, easygoing, be a source of joy. You can have creative projects that are going and flowing well. You can have more entertainment, fun, and pleasant things in life. While after that, Venus moves into your 6th house. There is a big focus on your 6th house. The whole month, the Sun, Mercury are there till the first 3 weeks of the month, and then Venus enters there as well. So 6th house, it means that you also be focused on work and your responsibilities and duties. You can get a lot done because the planets, they're nice, benevolent planets, Sun, Mercury, then Venus. Work can be a source of, you can be well organized, you can get a lot done. You can be more proficient, so if you have any work duties, do them now, I think. And even if I think you will have. So it won't be just pleasures and fun with Venus in the 5th house. There will be quite a few responsibilities, but you'll be kind of breezing through them easily. And then there is a full moon in your 12th house on July the 13th with Pluto. That can be a time to release some and have some deep realizations. Full moon is to realize something, to put a light on something, some deep emotional, psychological realizations about the subconscious patterns you have, about addictions or self-sabotaging behaviors or hidden vices. There can be sometimes even escalation of such behaviors, but also a breakthrough and releasing, because full moon is to realize and release, to let go. So some of you might have some realizations and letting go. Might be a good time for some of you who want to stop some addictive behavior to do that, because the full moon is with Pluto, which very much rules obsessions, and it can help you release, and it can help you, it can be an intense period from the middle of the month or even a little bit before for such kind of releases. And also it can make you very extremely intuitive and more emotional than other times, and extremely intuitive about dangers, because Pluto is there, part of the new moon, or about sometimes even dreams that can give you some insights, or some very intense dreams in which you're reworking certain trauma. Or it might be working with a psychologist to release certain trauma that this full moon can be good for. It can be also focused on foreign countries with this 12th house in the middle of the month, or mysteries of any sort, or spiritual experiences, and so on. And then the other big event is that Jupiter is turning retrograde in our 3rd house at the end of the month on July 29th. But first, it's almost stationary, it stops, and the 3rd house rules our thinking. So you can notice that there might be like almost emptying out of your thoughts.
and being able to keep your mind more still. I know we as Aquarius, anyone who is Aquarius, their mind is constantly going, but Jupiter is a very sattvic, which is like a spiritual planet. And in the third house of thinking, it can help you slow down the thinking and change your perspective. You'll notice that your thinking starts changing about certain matters. Your beliefs on everyday life matters start shifting with Jupiter turning retrograde. And that there is some big first, like a quieting down, and then a shift, a huge shift of your perspective, of your ideas. And even it can indicate as well on a more material level that from the end of the month and the next 3-4 months, you'll be reconnecting with a lot of people from the past, or you can be restarting something you used to do before that is connected to writing, to speaking, to communicating, to media, to working with associates, or working in a group environment with others. And you might need to collaborate with people on something that has already started, but put extra effort over the next 3 or 4 months, or something from the past, such project, commercial or intellectual writing or speaking, a learning project that you have to revise, redo, put extra efforts with. And by the end of this, or maybe some skill, some past skill that you have to dig deeper and bring out of your toolkit, and deepen it, become more knowledgeable, study extra deep about something you already know and go deeper into it, or maybe some project connected to media, to internet, to writing, to speaking that you'll go deep into. And Jupiter even retrograde will help it that it's gonna go really well, but with a bit more extra efforts. All right. And also Jupiter going retrograde in your 9th house from the end of the month and August onwards, it can mean going back to countries, or going back to traveling. Third house is to travel, to move, going back to places you wanted to go or you've been before too. But of course, there can be some problems with anything third house around the time of Jupiter going retrograde, 29th of July, with communications with relatives, with siblings. So you can get in touch again with relatives or siblings you haven't seen toward the end of the month, or even from the middle of the month. You can start meeting people that you haven't seen in a while. But you have to be careful just around the 29th about trips, journeys, phones, and such kind of devices for certain more crisis situations. But overall, with Jupiter in your 3rd house, your mind is more positive. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I have noticed it as an Aquarius rising. I've been way more positive than other time, despite of Saturn being in our sign. So there is some, you can see the silver lining in things. But it's good. Jupiter will rewire your mind and your daily communications and activities. And then the other big event that now you feel quite strong is Uranus conjunct the North Node and Mars, quite explosive energy in your 4th house, in our 4th house, especially if you have Sun, Moon, rising around 18 degrees of Aquarius, 17, 18, 19, 20, they'll be felt very strong. Even if you don't just pay attention, something big change can be happening on the family horizon in your personal life. All those 3 planets have very explosive energy connected to something new. And you are Uranus, and Mars joins you. Mars rules your 10th house of career as well. There can be something new that's happening in your career very fast that also impacts your personal life directly, your family life, or it can be something very new and sudden that's happening with one of the parents in your life. I hope it's not a crisis, but there's certain developments that can happen, and or with property, with place of living. So the end of the month and July, it can be also more explosive energy where there's more struggle and fighting with family members as well. Just be careful, for accidents and such things around home or with family members. But otherwise, on a more general level, it can mean something new happening there and new decisions being done quite fast. So there you go. And there is a new moon on July 28th. Again, another important event towards the end of the month. That there is a new moon in your 7th house. So new beginnings will come to you in the shape of another person over the next 2 weeks into August. Also, new people can enter your life, not just old people from the past coming with Jupiter retrograde in another social house, but some new energy for new relationship for some of you, for new business partnership, for new collaboration. That will be auspicious. This new moon is trine Jupiter. Take it, it's good, or something good coming into your life through another person or into the life of your partner that is auspicious, and something new you can do together or they're gonna do that can be more beneficial for both of you. And new clients, new markets, new reaching out to new audience can be like you get a new impetus with this new moon. So there you go. And even though Uranus with North Node and Mars is shaky, it can shake up many things, especially the foundation of life, the family, and it's related to the career axis as well. There is some lovely new moon happening at the same time, so maybe look for support from others as well that will come.